Ever wonder what's really behind the headlines? Or why certain theories just won't go away? Dive into the world of the No Name Podcast, your go-to podcast for unraveling the mysteries of conspiracies, politics, and everyday life. Each week, we blend our opinions, analysis, with some storytelling to uncover the hidden layers of our world. From the latest political intrigue to the most fascinating conspiracy theories, we bring you a balanced dose of skepticism and insight. Whether you're a seasoned critical thinker or just curious about the whispers that swirl around us, we offer a space where your questions are welcome, and your mind can wander freely. Tune in, spark your curiosity, and let's embark on this journey of discovery together. The No Name Podcast, where every episode is a new chance to think critically and see the world through a different lens. Don't miss out. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
Hey, this is Jeremy.
Hey, it's your boy Trey.
What's up, everybody? It's Dustin.
And we are excited about this episode as we probably are going to discuss one of the biggest theories of all time when it comes down to conspiracy theories, for me, in my lifetime. Now, we got, the Men in Black, we got all these different other ones, but I think the 9/11 conspiracy theories are one unlike any other, bro.
George W.
And it
Our
is,
buddy George W.
I think being a 7th grader and then coming into my adulthood,
Yeah.
I'm always baffled by the information that we was able to get, because I will never forget. I think no one ever forgets where they were in 9/11, and then you had so many questions like, how does this happen to us? How does this happen like airplanes? I was always asking questions like the one plane that I think it crashed like in the middle of Pennsylvania or some one day. They said it was headed to the White House.
Yeah.
That they allegedly tried to take down or like stop the person from taking down the plane or whatever. I just had so many questions because it was so much information being released inaccurately that I think it helped spark. I think even now with this distrust with the news and big media facets, but I would love to start the conversation on. I think this, you can go any way we want to, but I think a movie that really sent me, into the field of conspiracy theory of not trusting the government was Fahrenheit 9/11.
I've never watched it.
Oh, it is.
Wait, is that the Michael Moore one?
Yeah, Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Because Michael Moore doesn't do anything. He he doesn't say, hey, like this is. He just asks a lot of questions that no one can really get the answer to. And I think that's what my mind really started diving into conspiracy theories to say, why don't we have the answer to this?
See, I didn't end up watching that because I think when that came out it was like at the height of his, what I would call craziness,
Mm-hmm.
and he was saying a lot of things that I didn't align with.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wrote off anything that he produced as being something that I just didn't want to watch. So are you saying that it's worth watching because it doesn't go into his way of thinking? Like he was able to actually, come across the questions without, I don't know.
Being a liberal. Is that what you're going to say,
It's
Jeremy?
not being a liberal. It's just like, it's like a certain, I wish I could remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's 20
then
years.
I was a lot younger than,
Yeah.
I don't remember things from back then that much, but
Yeah.
I just remember at the time, like his name still is like nails on a chalkboard to me, just because I associate him with being like just so far, environmental, the whole thing. So I mean, if it's worth a watch, I'll give it a shot 20 years later.
If you can watch it, so this is what I always tell people. I think I'm just, because I guess I study film and all that. I don't see the political message. Like let's say if you were to make a movie, a documentary about Trump, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care because I want to hear what you have to say. Like
Right.
I don't like that's how I am. That's why I told you I follow conservative folks, I follow liberal folks. I follow people who agree with me and people who don't, because I just want to hear what are they talking about, because I never wanted to be an individual that's so close-minded on my side that I don't, because you may say something I'm like, wait, like I was listening to a conservative guy and he said something like, wait, that's a thing? Because I just didn't know.
Right.
I'm always looking to gain information, and I didn't even know he was liberal until you just said that. Because I'm not searching or looking for that.
I don't think it was more liberal. It's more socialist. And
I don't know. I was just saying that.
I'll say liberal. I don't really care about.
But a socialist.
The socialist is kind of where that's
draw the line.
Well, because part of the thing that I've come across with a lot of some of the current Democratic people running is the fact that it seems like they run more on a socialist side of things, like a lot of their policies and views and things like that. That's where I kind of am like, whoa, like I can get behind the Democratic Party on a lot of things. What I can't get behind is signing over my life and someone telling me where I'm supposed to work, where I'm supposed to do. Like, where's the freedom?
Right. So so you will have to watch it and tell me.
Yeah,
it's been a while too for me. So I probably need to go back. It is like I remember watching that. It sent me down a rabbit trail of conspiracy theories. Like that's what sparked me more than anything. I think I believed in some stuff. Like, I would joke around with the flat earth theory and play around. And I was like, I watched that documentary. I was like, why did that happen? Because now I'm looking at it like, man, like what is really going on? Yeah. And it's like, for instance, I think, maybe it's been some years since I watched it. Probably need a refresh. But I think like, one of the things he was pointing out is George Bush's timeline. Why did he freeze for that long? And then he started looking at some of the call records, and like he was kind of hitting that he knew.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, like that's kind of what everybody's saying.
I don't know if that's ever been debunked.
I don't think it's ever been debunked. I didn't mean to cut you off. Like one thing that I remember hearing a long time ago was like they had call logs, and that he had been warned before time and ahead of time, and they kind of like.
For the record, I don't always trust all the debunking that's happened because for me, one of the biggest things that I always questioned, and then I don't know, maybe I came up with it on my own, or maybe I heard it and just kind of ran with it, was the fact that how the towers fell.
Yeah, I posted a video about this on our page.
Yeah,
there is a builder. His job is to design buildings, and he said that the buildings were designed to be, was it, I don't know, like bomb-proof or something like that,
right,
or whatever. But if you watch how they fell,
they fell straight down,
demolition style.
It looked like he goes, it very lines up to demolition.
But there was a lot of people that were saying that they heard the explosions, and when you actually see the video,
it looks like a demolition.
It looks like a demolition. Like you can see almost like the glass blowing out, from the bottom floors.
Yeah,
and they'll debunk it, and say, oh, well, the buildings were designed to implode that way. They were designed to, but I'm like, I don't understand, because the plane crashed in so high up.
It should have been just the top half.
Why was it not just the top? Exactly.
Yep.
And that's one thing that I've always questioned. But yeah, basically, it's kind of just left me with all the questions. And so Dustin had posted a video onto our Facebook page. So let's listen to that for a second. And this is
from an architect, and he's going to describe and tell you how these were destroyed and how this really, it was just planned out.
Somebody with a wacky idea.
Right.
Okay, you come with some science to you. What is the official reason for the collapse of the World Trade Center towers?
Well, we're told that the planes hit the buildings, and there was an explosion and a fire, and about an hour and a half later, in the case of the North Tower, the buildings collapsed due to structural weakening due to the fires. The problem is that we don't have large gradual deformations associated with collapses, and fires in high-rises have never brought down a steel frame high-rise building at all, ever. And what we have, unfortunately, is the evidence in the Twin Towers and the third skyscraper to collapse that day, which most people don't know anything about it. We have the evidence of the 10 key features of controlled demolition. In the case of Building 7, it collapses straight down into its own footprint at free fall speed in the first 100 feet. It's dropping, as you can see, symmetrically, smoothly, at free fall speed in the first 100 feet.
It really was a crazy
seconds.
Drop.
This is uncanny. There's 40,000 tons of structural steel designed to resist this collapse.
Is it, a 47-story building?
Yeah, this is called Building 7, right? A football field away from the Twin Towers.
Okay, so what we're showing is left what happened. In fact, right is a controlled where you are using, or the people who made this happen, used demolition.
Indeed, and this is a direct comparison. And you can see that indeed almost
This
free
coming
fall
from an
speed,
architect.
free fall acceleration through 40,000 tons of structural steel. That is uncanny. So we have 700 architects and engineers demanding a new investigation as a result of this evidence and the evidence in the World Trade Center that is very explosive. Almost every architect and engineer we show this information to agrees with us that these are
you know when
controlled
this was
demolitions.
recorded?
If we can get them to look
I don't know when it was recorded.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering when it was recorded because, you know, if they have people that are actively, I mean, I think the front of it said it took 23 years.
Yeah.
So that's this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in 2024. Yeah, so that's this year. So I wonder if there's people that are currently actively, you know, looking into it because that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those situations where they know we know the truth and they don't give a flip.
Yeah.
Because I would never forget doing a project. I think I was in 8th grade because I wasn't in high school yet. I was in 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. Maybe I was in high school. No, I was 8th grade. I wasn't doing projects like this in high school. And I was doing like a memorial for 9/11. And I was going through. I didn't realize it was that many people had died because we printed off the sheets of names. I had to cut out the names. I ended up not doing so good on the project because it was too many names. And the way I cut them, I got tired of cutting. I started cutting crooked.
Yeah.
And I was like, I looked at my mom and said, like, this is like one of the most depressing projects I've ever done in my life because I didn't realize the magnitude of those names. And I get a lot of people who ask me, like, you really think your country would sacrifice, you know, this many people? And I always, like, I think this is just my political beliefs is, yes, I think when you have capitalism, and this goes to your socialist comment, which is, I always say a healthy dose of socialism is good. Healthy dose, not 1984. Okay, that's crazy to me. But unchecked capitalism is also equally as bad as total socialism.
Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you're looking at what you're looking at, in the grand scheme of 300 million people, a couple thousand is not really a drop in the bucket.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is so for us, and really, so
it's huge for us. It's huge for the families.
Right.
But to the government,
but it's not just
drop in the bucket.
Watch this. That 3,000 plus was on the ground, like that day, right?
Right. It's not including the war and everything else.
The war, the troops we lost. It doesn't include the smoke that all those people. The government,
cancer, everything. So
where I work, we have contracts or a program office of sorts that focus on. It's called the World Trade Center program. Like that's like their focus is to deal with people strictly from the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
Post, not
still.
Watch this. It includes loved ones who still grieving, who like are depressed now. It deals with people who develop cancer. They have a special health insurance for those people.
Oh wow. They
have, watch this. If you was in, like, let's say I was a first responder and I was there and I got sick, I get to go to a special doctor. And those people, because they're dying, and they was like, we got to keep track of this because we don't know, watch this, the span of it. That program is a program office, which means it's getting millions of dollars to run. Watch this. It is one of the most high visible programs, and they get money because why are they getting money if it was a terrorist attack? You tell me why you're paying people.
Yeah.
Why are people, they get like, disability for the rest of their life? Now, the first responders who did that, I would give them anything.
Right.
It's crazy. I wouldn't did it at all. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, because y'all know.
Yeah. And when you look at this particular conspiracy and this particular theory, there's several rabbit holes you can venture off down in here.
Well,
there's several different directions you can go down in here.
Well, before we start heading down the rabbit trails, I have a question. So my biggest conspiracy was the fact the way the buildings fell.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was what kind of was like, out of everything I saw.
Right.
To me, that was the thing that I questioned the most. That was the thing that kind of sent me down the whole thing of, is this even real? What was it for y'all?
Well, that guy in that video, the architect, he even tells you in that video that those buildings were designed to withstand the fire, the heat, and everything like that.
Yeah, but the debunkers are going to say it's the jet fuel that was burning hotter than the what. I mean, there's look at your Snopes.
Yeah,
look at.
I think
look at some of the other debunkers. And they're going to come up with all these different scenarios that kind of try to debunk that. But What, like, was that yours too? The way the buildings fell? Was that your biggest one?
No, it wasn't one of my biggest ones. It was.
I'm talking about the biggest one. What is, like, you look at the whole situation, you know, what is the one thing that sticks out to you that says this is not real, or this is planned, or this was, I'm not saying not real. Okay, it was real. But the way that it was portrayed to us was not real.
Mine was the phone calls that we had talked about earlier about how I felt like they had been warned ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you actually watch George W. whenever he did his press conference and the way that he was talking, there's a point in that video or in that where it almost looks like he goes into a trance and he is just being either told what to say in an earpiece or he's reading a script.
Now, do you think that the fact that the government with the stock market the day before, is that part of that, or is that separate?
Yeah.
What happened the day before the stock market crashed or went down or something?
They shorted a bunch of stock. So do you think that's part of that, or do
Yes.
you think that's separate?
No, I think it's
Okay.
It's all part of it.
So what about you, Trey? What's the...
I have two. And this one sound. I think she said something about building 7 or building 11, wherever it was. That was got me. Because
Building
like that,
7,
that
yeah.
that building had nothing to do with anything. It was closer buildings that just received damage.
Mhm.
Why did that building collapse?
Mm-hmm.
That always, and then it didn't get hit by a plane or no plane pieces or anything, and it fell similarly the same way they did.
Do you think it was supposed to get hit?
I
Like they already had something in place?
that would be
I'm
a
just
rabbit
wondering.
trail, but yes, yes.
No, I'm just asking, like,
No.
you know, we don't have to go down the rabbit trail.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, do you think that that was supposed to
Yes.
be part of the situation?
It's like, you ever seen those movies?
Yeah, I think it was.
You ever seen those movies? Like I think it was one of the movies where a hurricane is coming, they're evacuating town, and these robbers decide to rob the bank because they know nobody would be there, and now it's like them against the storm, and then and it's like, okay, I know this disaster is about to happen, and we need to cover up for whatever we're about to do here.
Right.
And then my second one, if I had to tie it, was if I'm a leader, all right, if I ever become president, you're welcome, America.
I'd vote for you.
I'd vote for you.
Because I'm telling you, I would definitely be a JFK type.
I'd also vote for Stone Cold Steve Austin though, so I don't know.
Hey,
Another
don't
celebrity,
diminish,
huh?
don't diminish yourself. All right, but
Hell yeah.
if I were to run for office and I say something like that were to happen, the first plane, I would say, hey kids, I gotta go be a leader. But what I wouldn't tell them what happened is, hey, my country needs me, because this is what we expect from the commander in chief.
Right.
I'm not going to sit there and continue to read a children's book, and it's almost as if he was waiting
For the second
for the second one.
or
Yeah.
third.
Yeah.
Because you tell me right now, you know, if your wife calls you and say, hey, a car just hit me.
I
Out
mean,
the door.
I would love it if we could see, like, if I could show y'all the video of him doing that press conference where you can see it. It's like he goes into a trance.
No, he
He's
does.
just staring off.
But just like you said,
straight into space.
it's the
And I don't
second.
know if he's being told what to say or if he's reading a script, but he just
But
goes into a trance.
I really think is this is when I see his face, because it is like a trance or shock type face.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah.
We're in it now.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe we really just did it.
Yeah.
Like they like my homies really did this. Like, I know they was gonna do it, but it's you know, think about it. It's like you have a friend that's really hyped up all the time, want to fight, and you're like, man, you need to calm down because one day we're gonna have to fight for you.
Yeah.
And then you see them fight, you're like,
It's almost like
It's today.
a look of shock of
we're in
I
it.
just saw something and I can't believe the horror that I just saw.
Or I just can't believe I really commissioned this.
Yeah,
They
I
did it.
can't-
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
actually
think
happened.
I didn't think they
Yeah.
was gonna do it for real. I thought we were just talking about it.
But there's like I said, there's several rabbit holes that this can go down, and probably mine is completely different than y'all's. I'd be willing to bet on that. But
No, I have
do
to,
we want to go down?
well, I do gotta give Warren Jeremy. Now, it is a political base. I'm reading a summary of it. It is very political based movie. So just deal with that, please, when you go watch it. I'm just gonna let you know. But I think even in the political sense, he does raise some questions
Oh, yeah.
because he doesn't necessarily pin it to the Republican Party or anything like that. Because it seems like he just don't like George W. Bush. Reasons I think we all can look at him back hindsight and like he was not one of the better presidents we could have had. But they do start off.
Hindsight.
They do start
Hindsight.
off talking about, you know, the election being stolen and from Al Gore, and he prefaced it with that this is what led to. It was all intentional to get this to that. So just
Yeah.
you know, deal with that, and then we and enjoy them and just seek
I
the
think we
information.
I think we missed the boat with John Kerry. I think we would have had it made had that man won.
And see, okay, and then when we're looking at
He
9,
had 3 Purple Hearts, for crying out loud.
I do just to kind of get on it a little bit, just a little bit. I do miss the days of old when, to me, I love voting for people who had served the country because at least they were brave enough to die for it.
Yeah.
And now I think we're gotten to a place where you just got to be the biggest BSer. And I'm just like, that's why I think for the last couple of years, it's like, oh, this is lesser of two evils. It's hard for me to call a person who's willing to die for this country evil.
True.
Because I mean, and especially if they saw combat, like you look at this person like, you're crazy. Okay, yeah, you can lead me because I need a person who knows, like that's the toughness that we talk about, who can say, I shot at y'all before, and now I got nukes, so good luck, but still rational. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think when you're looking at 9/11, I don't see I think it did something to our country, especially our group, because we was kids. I think it reshaped America to get to where we are today.
Yeah.
Patriot Act. I think now we're kind of more in cahoots with nations that we probably wasn't as friendly with, but now we had to because when we went into some of these other countries, like a good thing that 9/11 talks about is Saudi Arabia and our connection. Now, granted, we kind of used them as our pawn to kind of spy on Iran, but I think that relationship has morphed so far. It's like they kind of understand their importance to us, and now we're seeing ourselves land in bed with people where it's not like we're the dominators; they're partners now. I don't like that, and I'm looking at 9/11. I'm like, boy, you kind of changed the format. If we were policing the world, that sent us to be like like for the black people, it'd be like the 1980s crack pandemic when they were just in LA when they was kicking down doors looking for crack. That changed us to that,
right?
Where we're just looking across countries. Look, hey, you got terrorism? Oh, you got a terrorist? We coming to get him. Like, wait, what? Iraq? Y'all leaders of terrorism. We got them. Like, whoa, calm it down. What y'all think?
Meanwhile, I think that the whole pointing fingers and say you're terrorists, we're coming to get you. The ones pointing the fingers are part of the terrorists.
You said America was a terrorist organization?
Man.
Wow.
I'm telling you. What's your rabbit hole, Jeremy?
He said it to the building, right? Oh, you went rabbit
No, I'm
hole?
talking about the rabbit hole. So yours is...
and I'll let y'all go first because
Mine's going to be completely different than y'all. I'm telling you.
Are you aware that the guy that had leased the World Trade Center, he took out a nice big old fat insurance policy right before this happened for terrorist insurance?
Stop it.
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Even the fact checkers say that there's a mix of true and false,
It's because
which means he did
true.
He did take out the insurance policy, but they're just saying it's not because he knew it was going to happen. It's because he was just trying to cover all his bases. Okay.
Oh,
so this is just like so look at the people in North Carolina. How often are you going to worry about taking out flood insurance on your house when you live in the mountains? Like,
never.
You're not in a
The mountains
floodplain.
don't
Exactly.
flood.
So how often is someone who owns a building saying, well, I better get terrorist insurance in case someone crashes a plane into my building?
Can I make it easy for you?
In 1999, in 2000, in July of 2020 or July of 2001, who would have thought I better get insurance on my building in case a terrorist attacks it?
So let me do.
Today,
that may make sense.
that makes sense. And just like the people in North Carolina, every person that lives in the mountains right now is probably calling their insurance agent saying, I got to add flood insurance.
No, they're about to get their house is about to get taken.
Oh, what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
everybody else that
But
still has a house.
Can I one up you real quick?
Please.
If you took out a life insurance policy on Amanda for $2 million and she died 2 weeks later,
I ain't
you're
getting
going
that
to
money.
jail.
Yeah, I was going to say, you ain't getting that money.
and they're gonna they know for a fact that you probably had something to do with her death.
Right.
That's, to me, that is absurdly crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't sell it to me now. Like 2000, like right we are now, that makes perfect sense because we terrorism since then.
Yep.
Prior to the biggest attack on American soil had been Pearl Harbor.
But that's what I mean. Is like,
That's crazy.
a
military base.
If I was going to go down a rabbit hole, that'd be the one I'd choose because I'm like,
that's crazy.
wow.
That pissed
Okay.
me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's mine.
Jesus, that pissed me off.
Mine is
Common sense.
Mine is I don't have any facts behind mine. Mine is just complete speculation. Mine's more of a good versus evil outlook type of deal. You had mentioned Pearl Harbor just a minute ago. Mine, it still stems back to this new world order, this one world government type deal. And so my wondering is if they're in a deal with a darker purpose, a darker thing behind them, them doing that, would they have to do some kind of huge sacrifice, however so long? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, how many people died in 9/11? Prior to that, how many people died, and what would be the big thing that happened before that? What was the years between the two? What was the years between the one before that one? And so I'm saying, I'm wondering if they don't do this all across the world, because you had World War II, you had World War I, you had 9/11, you had Vietnam, you had the Revolutionary War, you had all these different wars, and all these that are having to do with other countries as well. Many people die. A lot of blood is spilled on this land.
Yeah.
For what purpose behind it?
I mean, I don't think you're that far off on your rabbit trail. You said we would, that it would be so far off. Trey was saying that at the beginning, a little bit about about that. So I find that, could be true.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine's okay. This is not even a rabbit hole. It was a thought on my way here. Okay. I fly a lot, and I probably shouldn't do this show and fly. I probably need to start driving, honestly. But even then, I feel like my car.
You're gonna drive to Italy?
Maybe we're Elon Musk when you need him. I did feel like my car was trying to drive itself without my permission the other day too. That was freaking me out. Don't worry. As long as I survive,
leave the world behind.
Hey, I told D that I need to take this car to the shop. It did it twice. I was like, I kept hitting the brake because I don't know what this car is doing. Nevertheless, this is a thought to me. It's just a thought, and it's a rabbit hole because it's from me. No factual. It's just a thought. All right, we're always behind on technologies for us as a citizens getting it. What if those planes were never hijacked? What if it was remote controlled?
Oh yeah, I thought that too.
And they ran them. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not trying to hurt people and get people to dig up hurtful memories and anything like that. I do know these people died, and I don't know why. And I tend to look at America as, now granted, TSA is not what it was today.
Yeah.
So we have tightened up security. But given everything that I know, I just don't see a group of people on a plane. In my head, I'm on a plane. If you start acting crazy and I think you're about to hurt anybody on this plane, I don't give what we're doing. I'm not dying. At least I'm gonna fight my way to the end, like the Pennsylvania plane.
I was gonna say, I think it was like flight 23 or something like that.
You're not taking a box cutter. I can take a box cutter cut.
Yeah.
I cut myself all the time with box cutters. Like that's my fingers. Like I'm like, ouch, that hurt. Because you're not gonna. If you hit me a couple of times with it, and somebody else decides to help me, I'm gonna be okay. You're not hitting any main arteries.
Not with a box
here.
cut.
Not with a box cutter. Now if you had a sword or something. Even then, it's too tight of a space. Gun maybe, but then you can't shoot a gun on the plane because
it depends on how far out that razor blade goes.
You're not stabbing nobody clean.
No,
because like it's too, like, you probably get me, but you're close enough now where my adrenaline is pumping. I'm going to take you.
Yeah.
Like, and then it's too tight, so you're gonna trip and fall. We're gonna be on each other. Now you might stab me like 20 times in that point, but at that point, I'm hoping that my American citizen friends,
exactly,
jump in,
I see
right?
What you're saying. Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, 3 dudes take over a plane and nobody did. Like, oh my God, he's running up there. Oh my gosh, no. As soon as I see you run up there and you're banging on the door trying to get in, hey man, sit your butt down. Like it's getting a little weird.
Yeah.
And you turn around and you say something crazy. For lack of better words, I'm whooping your ass.
Yeah.
Because I refuse as much as I can.
At least I'm going to try.
I'm all my anger that I've, as a good Christian individual, that I've pent up, I'm going to let it release. And trust me, it's like the kid who get picked on too much.
Yeah.
I have some pent up aggression that I kind of just.
And the thing is you're not going to be the only one because other people are going to feed off of your energy.
Right. Like he's trying to kill us.
Exactly.
That's all I have to say. And I guarantee, we see it on planes now that people start acting up and people would jump in.
Yeah.
I just, to me, it's something weird about that, where either the planes were remote controlled or I just don't believe that people, I think that people just are not. And then I just saw a video the other day too that made me even more ticked off. how many kids died in the 9/11 plane.
Yeah.
And that really ticked me off again. Cause
And as a parent, are you not going to fight for your kid's life? Right.
I'm not crying.
Yeah.
I don't, Annalee's here.
Yeah.
I got to fight.
Exactly.
I wonder how many. You said too you didn't want to bring up any bad memories for people that may be listening to this and they had loved ones who they lost in this. But I do wonder how many phone calls were made.
Yeah.
From the plane to their loved ones back at home, saying, "Hey, this
Those
is
are
going
some of
on.
the-
This is going on. This is going on."
Those voice messages, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love you.
How do you
This is
think?
going on?
How do you think George Bush sleeps as a night? Like, let's say hypothetically here. What they gave us is what it is. It's just America missed this one.
Well, what I'm saying is I wonder how many of those happened and how many of them got confiscated or how many of them got covered up. How many of those family members were paid off for those tapes because they don't want people to know what happened on that plane or what did or did not happen. And I'm not saying one way or another what
Right.
happened. I'm giving what I think may have or just a theory, because it's like you had said earlier when this episode first started. I personally think that it's something dark, and they say, and this was a huge mass sacrifice
And
for whatever reason.
okay. Let's go down that dark road with you.
Yeah.
I'll hold your hand. We're going down it.
Yeah.
How, as a human being, do you sleep at night knowing you did this, or personally could have prevented it? But and see, this is what goes back to that capitalist society. And for us, good human beings, 3,000 lives are not worth. Okay, F it. Let's see. I didn't think y'all agree with me on this, but maybe I don't. Maybe you're listening, you don't. If you were able to set your family up, I'm talking about kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kids you would never meet. They don't even know your name.
Right.
You would they were like, we just rich. They don't even know how we got rich.
Yeah.
But all you had to do is sacrifice 3,000 people, strangers. Would you do it?
Nope.
Me either. I can't live like that.
Yeah. I mean, what would be the point of, you wouldn't sleep at night? I wouldn't be able to.
Dustin, you didn't answer.
I would say probably not.
Yeah, okay. Probably.
Oh boy. Oh no.
You would think about it for a second.
The only reason I said that is because you said strangers. I'm never going to know them.
Because think about it. I joke about this all the time. I said I couldn't be Jesus and know
I don't think I could.
that
No.
people, I would have to die for people who would not believe in me.
Who hate you?
Yeah.
I'm one of those people.
Who call me a fairy and all this weird
Right.
stuff. I would probably say, Jesus, I'm like, God, we'll be all right.
I'm one of those people where I would pause and then say no. I couldn't just say no.
Right. Knowing what
I
we
would
know
say-
about 9/11, I think it's easier for us to say
No.
no. Prior to, we'd probably say, oh, yeah, no, I don't know those 3,000
No, I don't
people.
think I could do it.
I'll be billions.
I don't think I could do it. No.
It's just
I love
evil.
people too much.
Right. To me, and then those stories, bro, there are a lot of good, we don't hear, now in the news, we don't hear a lot of good stories. One thing I love about checking on 9/11 outside, hearing they pass from that, is hearing some good stories of how good those people were.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you listen to the heroes that died
Oh, man.
on that day, the firefighters that died, the officers that died, paramedics that died,
Well, one thing that
the civilians that died going in trying to help
if
people
we
that
wanted
they didn't
to,
even know.
That's America right there, bro.
well, I mean, if we were going to change the dynamic of the conversation for a second, one thing that was positive to me, 9/12.
Oh, man.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
The
Churches
unity.
were packed, bro.
Yeah.
9/12. I mean,
The
looking
unity.
at all the people who are just helping people.
Bro,
Could you imagine if we could do that today? I mean,
that was
So-
the first time ever in my life I didn't feel like a black American. I felt like a regular American.
holy smokes. I mean, could you imagine if we all felt that way now? Like what happened on 9/13? You know what I'm saying? 9/12.
It lasted till about Christmas.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
No,
but the 9/12,
Sheesh.
it felt like a movement almost. And I mean, what happened if we could have stayed there?
bro, we was
We
was-
oh man.
similar to other nations. Like when you go to Europe, when you go to France, they don't like I'm a black Frenchman. I'm French. I think we're only one of the few countries, if not the only country, that we identify race first, then our country.
Yeah.
And so a part of me, to your point, says, well, that's the problem. We talked about this a little bit last shows, which is I'm just an American.
Yeah.
That's what we had after
Yeah.
9/11.
I mean, I love that.
Now, the Muslim population, I'm sorry, they was on the back end. I always tell people everybody else united against them, but
Everybody was
nevertheless,
united against them, but,
But-
at the end of the day, at least as Americans, we were united.
Boy,
And I mean, that's probably the only time that's happened in our lifetime. And I hate to say it, but it may be the only time that we see it in our lifetime. I hope that's not the case. I would love to wake up tomorrow and it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
everything looks great.
I love that. I love that.
I love you, man.
I love that. I
God
love
bless
that.
America.
I love that 70s song by the Youngbloods that during the hippie movement where they said, everybody get together, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great song.
That is not the Youngbloods I know.
I
different
was like, I didn't know that one. I didn't know anything was such a positive song.
different Youngbloods.
Yeah, my Youngbloods were
I
rappers.
was going to say, I grew up listening to the Youngbloods and I wasn't in the 70s.
Totally different Youngbloods. But I think everybody should listen to that.
I'm glad at least
song
Trey was on the
today.
same page I was. I'm like, whoa, Youngbloods.
I'm about to Google that song. I never heard that one growing up.
I think
I
everybody,
mean, I know the song you're talking about. I just didn't realize that was a group called the Youngbloods.
Yeah, I think everybody today should listen to that song.
Yeah.
And really listen to it. And I mean, it's such a great positive message that we all should be doing that now.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a come together song for sure.
Yeah.
I think one thing that, sticking on that note, is one thing that 9/11 did produce, I think, and you said it, is it does show America what, I always tell people there's an underbelly to America that's sleeping.
Yeah.
And if we get off like the division of the politics, if we get off division of what we think America may be, there's like when we unite, we are not to be effed with. And that's why I always tell people, I said that one of the greatest things that could ever happen to America is we get attacked on our soil, because you're going to see some things change. It's going to be speak. Like I think we saw, if you ever saw the movie Civil War, very kind of political movie too, by the way. You might not like that one as much. I didn't really enjoy it.
Let me tell you something. I bought it, like pre-ordered it. Like I was excited about that movie. And then after it came out, it's still sitting unopened on my countertop for months now, and I still haven't watched it because I'm like,
the ending is trash.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies. I think, not to get on the movie, but like it shows. I think it shows America what we can do as far as like 9/11 shows us the real, that if we unite and be what the first part of our country name is. I don't know if any country can really F with us. Like I don't care how talented the martial arts of China is, because we have this bravado, bravery, underdog in us. I think every American has it, that makes us the grinders and the hustlers, and that makes us go to work. Because people you think about other countries, look at us and say, the way y'all work is crazy. Because in our mind, this is normal. And then I say that to say, it's also a part of us that if we continue to go down these weird division, fragmented roads, that we can get to the place of civil war where we're beefing with each other and tearing each other up. Because I think what we would do a good job at it, and allowing what I think is the 9/11s to happen, but it looks different. And I think I'm at a point now where I'm starting to see, but one thing I did see about, the lead the world behind in Civil War is other nations are baiting on the fact that they can keep us divided. 9/11 did something different, although it was terrible. It brought, I don't think other, the powers that be that did this thought that would happen.
Right.
I think I got a question of, do you think, I'm just going to come right out and ask, do you think George W., do you think he knew it was going to happen? Like, do you really think he did?
Pearl Harbor taught me one thing, is they get intel and they know. They just don't eat. Let's say, let me give him the benefit of the doubt that he's not in on it. Conspiracy. Should I say that? Is I think sometimes our political figures to be, they so confident in we're America, that brand of America,
right,
that they don't take stuff serious. Now we do, but I think in between whenever Pearl Harbor got bombed, and now I think when we start whipping booty around the world, they was like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna touch us. Let's just say that's the attitude. So when you hear stuff like, oh, they're gonna attack the trade centers, no, they're not. It's impossible. And then they do it, and I'm like, oh wait, that was for real.
Yeah.
And I think we all do it. Like, we all have this sense of, I call it false sense of security, that because we have the name America or United States or U.S., and we are one of the biggest, baddest nations, I still think, looking at Russia borrowing troops from North Korea, I think right now the only person we got to worry about, because I think we'll probably beat Russia in a straight up war, is China, because they just got the manpower just to they'll kidnap their people and say, you're fighting. I'm looking at us and saying, like, the only nation that can stop itself is us. So, and I think other countries know that. So to your point, I think, yes, he knew.
Okay. Because I have a backup question coming to that too.
He knew.
But I wanted to ask you the same question. Do you think George W. knew it was going to happen?
I don't know how he didn't. I mean, honestly, because I think what Trey's saying is right on the point, that they had They always have some sort of intel ahead of time, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I mean, maybe he didn't know it was going to be as bad as it was, or that it was going to happen that day.
Mm-hmm.
But, when you start kind of drilling down, like, do you guys, they always say that the Simpsons always predict everything. Do you think that was true, that the Simpsons actually predicted 9/11?
I saw that thing you sent, and I was like, holy cow. Yeah,
But a lot of shows did. I mean, a lot of movies, shows.
But if you look at like the Simpsons specifically, they say, that was just happenstance that they had the 9/11 right on top of the New York with the money and all that stuff. And it's like, well, I don't know if that was just happenstance, but that's what some people say. To me, I feel like when you look at all the different things leading up to it, the guy buying the insurance, all these different,
weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
You're about my age, and we were about in the same grade whenever 9/11 happened. I think I was in either 6th or 7th grade. In middle school, I don't know if you had to read it, but we had to read the book The Giver.
I had to read that one.
So we had to read it as a class.
Oh, I didn't read it. I probably had to read it. I just didn't read it.
Yeah, we had to read it. So I don't know if you remember.
Cliff Notes.
There were parts in that book
Mm-hmm.
that were eerily similar to 9/11.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the book I'm talking about, or
because we have a consensus here.
It was either The Giver or The Giving Tree. I think it was The Giver.
We have a consensus here that we kind of understand that there's something at play here that's just weird to like we're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
The New World Order or some of this stuff is just weird to us. That's why we had the podcast government. If you're listening, we just think some stuff is weird. You need to do a better job of not making stuff so weird. Okay.
Transparency. What a weird concept, right?
No, we're not doing that. Get out of here. Like I said, we know we're not going to get that, Jeremy. That's that might give you $1 million for they be transparent.
Well, since you're kind of
go
ahead, since you're kind of go ahead and leading there, I was going to go ahead and ask you my backup.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you're leading there anyway. You answered the one about the book. You didn't read it. The backup question I had was, do you think George W. / the government were involved in 9/11 in it happening?
A part of me, the good faith in me wants to say no, but then the questions part that they can't answer it is some stuff that like we're saying is just so weird about it. It's just it just feels eerie.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna say that like, and I throw out another one. The Sandy Hook shooting thing seems. I don't want to say that those families didn't lose people because
I believe they did.
Right, but it's just something that feels off about it. I don't know why. Okay, I'm not. That's it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I don't believe it happened. I'm just saying.
You have $1 billion to get sued for, Trey?
No, listen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I believe people died and kids were lost. I'm not one of those folks. Don't sue me. I have no money to give you anyway. All I'm saying is some things that happen in our society feel weird, eerily weird.
Yeah.
Like when you hear about, I give you a prime example. When I hear about a guy in Buffalo, New York, going into a grocery store, killing several people. Okay, this is racially motivated. Oh man, of course a black person, this is wrong, right? But then when you hear that one of the guys he killed was filing patent work for a hydrogen engine because he had figured out how to get cars to run on water, then you were like, wait, that
was a hit.
So, and they just had to cover it up. I'm not saying it wasn't those things.
Yeah.
Because they could find people that
Is that a true story?
Yes.
Oh boy, I missed that one.
So in my mind, and I'm not saying that guy just didn't, that he oh man, what's that movie? It's a movie. It's a black film, and the guy is like he gets indoctrinated into racism. I cannot think of the name of the movie. Somebody's gonna say it. I bet D knows. And long story short, he's these black kids on campus. This guy finally gets his life right. He's on the right track. And then this white kid, they showing these comparisons of these two kids, come from the ghetto, blah, 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 goes to college, doing great. This white kid struggles to get in. He becomes indoctrinated into racism because he doesn't belong. So these white power type people take him in, and he ends up killing the black kid. It's a crazy movie. It's a good movie, but it's like, oh man, it's an interesting movie, right?
Yeah.
That being said, I think that you can do two at the same time, which is I do believe, similar to the guy who shot Trump, I think it may be some some double backing on it, which is, hey FBI or hey people to be, we're gonna find a person who has some motivations. We're gonna set them up pretty nice, and then that way it's a win-win. He already wants to do it.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I would like to say no, but it's too much stuff that feels eerily weird. Just so for me to say like to say without confidence.
Yeah.
No, they didn't do it. I would say, can they explain some stuff so I can put my confidence in it?
But yes or no, just if we're going to say yes or no.
Undetermined.
That's not yes or no.
Same.
Oh, you're just going to say undetermined? I'm just going to
Same.
say yes. I'm just going to go out and say yes. I think they did.
We like our lives.
I mean, I like my life too, but I'm just going to call it like I see it. And as of right now, the way I see it is there's just too much suspicion for me to say
And
no.
I like that word, suspicion. So for instance,
Definitely suspicion.
like okay, for me, for instance, think about it like this, right? If I made a joke with my wife one time, and I said, we was talking about something, and I said, well, that'll be equivalent if you came home and my pants were down and a girl was standing here. I said, would you think she was hemming my pants, or you would think we about to get busy? She's about to get busy. I said, but what if she was really hemming my pants? I just had to take them off real quick, and I didn't think about it because I don't like her at all. I have no sexual attraction to her. It wouldn't matter to you. I can give you all the evidence. I can give you all the facts. It just seems weird.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, America, like if you want people to stop making up conspiracies, you can take the Jeremy approach, give us full transparency on everything, and let us
never do that.
And watch this, we can't handle the truth, let our minds explode. Or how about you just get better at covering stuff up?
Do you ever get to a point in parenting where like you watch your kids and you're like, I have let this go on for so long, it's become habit. And sometimes you're like, okay, we're going to have to stop this now. It's going to suck for a while. Think about like a pacifier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just have to take the pacifier, deal with the sleepless nights, deal with the grumpy kid, because you're like, okay, this kid is 2 years old, still running around with a pacifier. Like, not good, right?
Right.
We would all agree with that, right?
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
What if our government just ripped the Band-Aid off, gave us some full transparency, released it all, and said, here's what we've been doing. There's very few, if not any people that are still involved in this. But going forward, here's your new life. We are going to give you 100%. Yeah, everybody is going to freak out. We're going to have some stuff pop off for a while. Like, it's going to get bad. Like, maybe purge level bad. I don't know.
Right.
Wow.
Because I think when the American people realize how much they've lived through that they didn't have to, it is definitely going to get pandemonium. But when it's all said and done and the dust settles, now your rebuild stage is going to be pretty great. Is it worth it?
No.
No?
This is what they're going to do. We're all pretty much in our 30s, right? When we get about 60 or 75, because we know the generation behind us, they have a little history problem. They're going to do the same thing they did with us with aliens. They're going to create a disaster that we can't handle. They're going to give us something equivalent to the new Tiger version of Tiger King to distract us. And then they're going to give us all this factual information about aliens. That's what
Right.
they did. I was freaked out. I enjoy the Tiger King now, but
That was good.
they gave us all the information about aliens, saying, yeah, they're true, yeah, and they downplayed it.
Yeah, like it was no big
Like
deal.
it was like they lied. They bona
It
fide
was
came out.
so downplayed and done in such a strange way that most of the people have no idea that they even did it.
People who didn't believe in aliens didn't even care
Still.
anymore. Still
No.
don't.
They still
And
don't.
Even though their government said these
Yeah,
are true.
it's real.
This is true. This is real.
Yeah.
That's our Tiger King. My wife, I said, look. I said, look. She was like, nobody believes in that.
Nobody
What?
believes.
The Navy.
Nobody believes me and Jeremy either when we tell them that Sasquatch is on an endangered species list.
So watch this. What's going to happen? We may be still doing this podcast. We might be too old to do it, or maybe they don't took us out.
Probably took us out.
But watch this. I knocked on wood. I don't have to. If you just send me a letter, say stop at the cease. Trust me, I just come over here to hang out. I'm not going to say anything. Watch this. They're going to release the information about 9/11. Watch this. One thing I do like about your boy 45 is he says he's going to release the JFK tapes. That's probably like the highlight. Like, let me see. What was the truth?
Yeah. And he says he's going to do it again because he's about to be 47 tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Come on, man.
Tuesday, man. Super
Oh.
Tuesday.
Man, come on, man. We'll see. If he does do it, like I think it's so. For instance, they released the information about John F. K. and they say it was an inside job. People not gonna care.
Yeah, exactly.
Baby boomers may. People are get the inflation down.
I know. The people today are gonna be like, no way, and then they're just gonna go
Back
on.
to TikTok.
Like everything just
Yeah.
Well, TikTok may
Well, before we start winding down, we haven't even talked. So we've talked about Twin Towers. What
Yeah.
about Pentagon?
Pentagon.
Because there's a lot of stuff around whether that actually happened the way it was said to. Some of the conspiracies are why the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Was that even real?
My initial reaction to that was because to cover up stuff they were doing in the Pentagon. But after I met Trey, and Trey told me that nothing goes on in the Pentagon anyway,
Yeah.
now I'm kind of like, oh,
it's paper pusher place.
it was just another place to throw a plane. I mean, and make it look suspicious.
So we never really knew about Flight 20. I keep saying Flight 23. I don't know if that's right or not. I cannot remember.
The one that went down.
Yeah, and was it Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I mean, I looked the plane up real quick.
Okay, I at least want to try to be accurate. But
Yeah.
so there was always the thought of where was that plane going, because supposedly no one ever knew and no one ever found out. There was, it was supposed to hit the White House. It was supposed to, there was another
93.
93. Okay. What was I saying? 23?
Yeah,
93.
it's close.
Lock it in.
It's
93. All right. So you
You're
got
thinking
Flight.
of 23andMe.
It's all about the 23. But so you look at the Pentagon and then you look at Flight 93. So where was Flight 93 going? What are your thoughts?
I honestly have no idea.
White House.
White House?
Yeah, if I'm thinking,
Just to try to take down like the
it would have got shot down, but nevertheless. And some people, and I think some people, I'll do double fold. The Pentagon, to me, the wreckage of that looks weird.
mm-hmm.
And that's the part about it I don't like. Because how do you first of all, how do you fly a plane down there and miss all the lights, and you miss all the, we watch movies, and movies, every plane, they take out like everything down, right?
Right, trees and everything.
Yeah, they miss all of that stuff and got a direct, you got to be a phenomenal pilot.
I was going to say they had like these flight simulators that they set up and said, hit the Pentagon without hitting anything.
And
nobody could do it.
Nobody could do it.
Nobody could do it.
And yet that happened. Weird. What's it going to say? I'm just saying weird. Right? And then to answer your question about that flight, I do believe that they shot it down, and I understand why. You know what I mean? And you can't admit that, but if you have intel, or let's say that all the intel they did have, and they was like, well, this one can't do it. Like, this one can't make that far. Gotta shoot that one down. I think that's what it got shot down.
So you think it got shot down?
The way because
that's why it landed in the Pentagon the way it did?
no, not the
No,
Pentagon.
talking about 93.
93.
That one, it was no remnant of a plane, really.
Okay.
It was pieces.
Yeah.
And watch, the Pentagon had a wing. Even the plane that ran into the towers had wings falling, the debris of plane falling.
Right.
That one didn't have no pieces to it.
Yeah. Did they show like video of the plane hitting the Pentagon?
Yes.
They did that?
No, the Pentagon. No.
Okay. That's what I was
It's
just fixing to ask.
it's like
because
the fudgy
you
thing.
notice they show footage of the plane flying into the World Trade Centers.
Well, it's the Pentagon. It's not like they had any video footage.
Well,
there.
why do they
don't have
not?
any security cameras.
Why
that
do they
would've showed
not? If
any-
it's
it's the Pentagon. Why would they have that? I mean,
They
why
do.
can't we
He's
still
being
find
sarcastic.
out how there was, crack in the White House?
Nobody knows. Crack can't get in the White House.
I'm just saying, you would think they would have some kind
There's no
of
video cameras there.
Oh,
video of.
None they're willing to show us.
right. That part. And watch this. All I'm saying, as a citizen of America, is if you're gonna lie to me, if you're gonna pee on me and call it rain, make sure it doesn't smell like ammonia.
Okay, R. Kelly.
Oh, not that much. Come on, man. Not go that far. I'm just saying. Okay, great. I'll give you a prime example. Your kid, you got your kids, right? You got a cookie jar, and you say, "Hey, don't touch these. These are, my snacks." Jeremy earlier, and then you come back and there's chocolate on their face. I didn't eat cookies.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like,
that's my little boy.
like, come on, bro. Like,
What's on your mouth?
like,
Nothing.
nothing. This is doo doo. Oh crap. Like, this is
that's
even
scary.
worse. I said, this is even worse than I thought it would maybe. Because you want to go so deep into not admitting this.
Right.
All I'm asking for, if you're not going to be transparent, then hide it better. You're
Yeah.
the gut. I believe in you better than that. That's it. I believe that if you're unable to hide stuff from me as a regular citizen, and I know you have spies all over the world, what are we doing here?
But we've gotten to the point, and we've talked about it before, where they don't have to hide it because there's so few people who are willing to come out and say that this is wrong and call them out on it. And
So what you mean?
the people that do call them out on it, they just shut them down. So or
Call
take them out
crazy. Call them crazy.
or call them crazy. So it's like it's to the point where you as a parent you've taken the Snickers out of the vegetable bag in the freezer, and you're just putting it more like halfway in the pantry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there, but if the kid says, what is that on the top shelf? You're like, just a bag of rice.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I'm pretty sure I see like the Reese's.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You don't
Bag
see
of-
it. I don't see that. But it's easier for me to get to now, and it's not frozen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not having to sit there and go through all this extra steps, because the sheeple are either don't have the cojones to call me out on it, and the ones that do, there's so few of them, I'll either take them out, call them crazy, or shut them up.
Yeah.
And I think honestly that's where we've gotten as a society, where we're just willing to put up and shut up.
So, okay, I ask both of y'all this then. If they came out and said, the government came out and said, the real reason we did 9/11, or we allowed 9/11 to happen, or we didn't take 9/11 seriously, that would probably be it was, because we didn't think they could do it, right? But it was also monetary gain for us to do this. Would you be okay with that? And then if you wouldn't be, what do you do?
Well, I wouldn't be okay with it, but there's nothing that I can do.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
And they know that. So,
So just tell the truth.
And there's not enough people who are going to care enough to band together and civil war it up.
right.
If you control, I believe they control the media.
That would be the real thing to do, is if everybody, you've already said it before. You told me, and I was wrong, and I'll admit that I was wrong. You're right. You're absolutely right. What people can do, unite and rise up. If they unite and rise up, you can't stop that.
There's no money in that though.
No, there's no money in it. It's just like the first thing that a pharmacist is taught. There's no money in a cure.
what I'm saying?
Meanwhile, Magic Johnson's been living with HIV for
Healthy.
40 years. My understanding, the last time they said, he no longer even has any signs of it. So
He do. They did that recently too.
Yeah.
They remind us that he's okay.
Right. I mean, it comes down to the point of, what are we going to do as a people? Are we going to rise up? Is there enough people to rise up if there was a situation like that where they came out, and, are you going to stop it? By me saying this right now, I put myself at risk because they're going to think that I'm a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just asking a question.
They're going to think that we're inciting a riot, and we're not.
Right. I'm just
Not at
asking a
all.
question. Like, that's the whole point.
Two things they can do, which one of the things I don't think they would do, but let's say we were trying to get enough, like the people that try to run at, what's that place?
Area 51.
Area 51.
Yeah.
First thing they're gonna do, they're gonna say, we'll kill you. So it's chill.
Yeah.
Second thing they're gonna do is they'll pay you off.
Yeah.
They'll say, hey, you want your kid to go to college? That's how they do. Oh, watch this. If Jeremy, they came right now and said, stop asking for this information. Matter of fact, we'll give you $2.5 million to shut your podcast down. Be quiet and don't talk about this stuff ever again. Would you?
Yep.
I in a heartbeat. If they just said, I cancel your student loans, got you. I'm done. I would sing your praises. Don't even sing our praises. Just shut up.
Yeah, I was going to say, as long as I don't have to sing their praises,
Right.
I'm not taking any marks.
I'm not doing that. But I wouldn't talk about it anymore. Any of this stuff. I would just write notes and just keep to myself.
My memoir.
Right, right.
I'm
Well,
retired on the beach.
and that's so to me is the reason you can't have an uprising or just.
I do have to say, just for
then-
the record, if that was to happen, I need that 2.5 million cash
Tax-free.
untaxed.
tax free. It's coming tax free. Trust
Okay,
me.
I'm just saying.
That's how they give it to the terrorists.
Exactly.
Pay me the same way you pay
That's
them.
funny. They're not going to give us anything. But
I mean, they're not. They'll take everything from us.
they just
Right.
shut
That's
everything
what they would do. They
down.
would
Just shut everything down.
They'll foreclose on your house even though you're paid up. They'll take
But just so we're clear, we are not inciting a riot.
yes, or any government. We're just
We
talking
are
about
in
the
no way
suspicions.
supporting it at all. We do not.
Yes,
So
We love our country. We just asking questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
And we don't need to
not
be
enough.
following
There's not
us.
enough people asking questions. I think and that's why.
I mean, that's why we ask these questions. Because
But that's
we
why
do
the
love
candy
this
gets
country.
moved to the shelf instead of inside of the vegetable bag in the freezer. To me, is because there's just not enough people asking questions.
And like I said, that's why we ask these questions.
Right.
We do love this country.
I do have a comment though, and I think maybe I'm people like me are the problem. Whereas I don't believe anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I just ask. Like I'm. So for instance, I told you earlier, I follow people on conservative. I follow people on liberal. I find people who disagree with me and agree with me. Cause I'm just like trying to figure out information. I just want to know. I just want to know what people know. You know what I mean? I'm weird. I don't believe there's nothing. I don't believe there's a right and wrong in terms of information.
Yeah.
So for instance, history is written by the winners. I always wanted to know what the losers thought because those people who got conquered had opinions, had lifestyle, had culture. Why watch this? Why didn't they prepare? How did they fight back? How did they lose? What was their strategy?
Yeah.
It's like, watch this. The joke that I always make about Thanksgiving that a comedian said, he says, I feel so bad about the Native Americans because they came up with open arms and then the Pilgrims like, here are these blankets with smallpox. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And it's funny because you're like, they didn't think those Native Americans didn't think those blankets with the disease on it would do anything, but it started wiping them out.
South Park did an episode on that.
Oh man, that's what was the episode? I'm just curious.
It was where they were trying to take over South Park and they brought blankets in to help keep everybody warm with smallpox on it. Literally,
Kenny died.
literally.
Kenny died. Didn't he? Smallpox.
Boy, you talking about a Trojan horse.
They did one on that too.
So really, they should get rid of they should get rid of South Park. But leave us alone. We're low budget.
They've tried.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that Muhammad episode. Ooh, buddy.
Ooh.
Wow, that was.
You can't mess with them now.
No, I would never do that.
They can talk about Jesus all day, but don't do Muhammad.
Nope. But yeah, it's when you kind of come down to some of the different things about the whole thing. A lot of that stuff gets left out of 9/11. We talk about the Twin Towers, but when you kind of unpack some of the other stuff that was going on too, that kind of goes into what we were talking about, the different rabbit trails.
Yeah.
Where you're wondering, how did this happen?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just curious. Like, I am curious now. How many years was it before 9/11? And what would you say the last major thing that happened before 9/11 was? Would you say it
Terrorist attack or just mass shooting or something?
just like I
We
guess,
was having those.
yeah, we
Yeah,
had the,
yeah,
we had
I
the
want- okay,
Oklahoma City bombing.
That 95,
Okay.
93,
Centennial Olympic Park. That was-
96.
Yeah.
93 was. Why do I know all these? 93 was the first attempt bombing on World Trade Center. I'm telling you, I just know that
Yeah, that was the one in the basement.
basement.
right?
and they tried to blow
yeah.
up the bomb and it didn't do. It didn't do it. Literally, it didn't do anything. He said, I probably know too many natural disasters. I need to stop being. It's just good. I mean, not
Yeah.
natural disaster, but just terror is good. I mean, you had little like school shootings. You had
How many years would you say is between the wars? So how many years was it between
the Gulf War was the last one we was in, right? 92
Desert Storm?
Desert Storm,
Yeah.
Gulf War. That was like 92, 93 ish.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we had like a little hiatus. We didn't have no wars until 2001. I think I call them police wars where we go help a nation.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, but
like-
before 2001, that was Operation Iraqi Freedom was the one in 2001. Right after 9/11, it was Operation
It was-
Iraqi Freedom.
No. It was we was blowing up Afghanistan because we was looking for the terrorists. That war is the longest war we ever been in. It wasn't a fault against the nation. On the cusp, in the middle of that one, we decided to attack Iraq.
Okay, so
In the name
Had
of
that-
safety.
Yep.
before that, we had.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Oh God.
So well, I'm saying before the 2001,
hmm
we had Desert Storm.
Yep.
Before Desert Storm, we had
The Vietnam War? No, yeah, Vietnam. No,
Vietnam, I think.
Vietnam.
yeah, before that we had the Korean.
No, Koreans. No, we had Korea was 1950. Yep. So 1950. Yep.
Okay, before that we had World War II.
Yep.
Before that, World War One.
Yep.
Okay, so how many years are there in between all these?
World War II was 4 years, I think. World War I and II was like 4. No, because World War III was like 1913. World War I mean, so it was about 30 years in between that one or so, give or take. And then 1944 or 45 was the end of World War II, and then we went and fought in 1950 the Koreans, so about 6 or 7 years in that one. And then we had maybe a clean 15 years before we got into Vietnam War, which is very pointless. But then you got to remember, there's the Cold War is happening.
Yeah, the whole time.
The whole time. So this is all. Vietnam was part of the Cold War. People forget that. So we're fighting other nations, just trying to beat Russia. I call them pawn pieces. We was pawn piecing freedom to everybody. We was dishing out freedom to everybody by conquering them. And then by the 1980s or so, we kind of got out of the Cold War business a little bit. And then that's when we go to the Gulf, kind of a little bit of it back. And then we progress. So it's really been like an 8 or 5 year. I would say if I had to put an average to it, it'd be like on average probably a 5 to 9 year range where we don't want to fight anything.
So this war that was started in 2001 basically was, I mean, technically a 20-year war.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Fighting nobody.
Right.
Would you say that would be like the darkest period of America?
No.
I don't think it was the darkest. I think it was quite a waste.
It wasn't a waste.
I'm saying like the underbelly.
It wasn't a waste.
Really look
How was it not a waste?
Okay, so I'm looking at it from
Break
this.
it. Give me.
Well, so
me some
when you say waste, it's like, oh, our tax dollars, we're spending them. First of all, I always tell people the DOD has a crazy budget, so we pay most of our tax dollars. If you look at the grand scheme of it, goes into us protecting ourselves. Okay, which is ridiculous to me because I'm like, how much money do we need? But here's the issue. The issue is most of these contracts go to defense. So those companies, you remember we talk about free market, we talk about capitalism. They made anytime America goes to war, somebody is making billions of dollars. That's why I said I just really I need to make a war company.
Yeah.
Because if I can manufacture bullets, missiles, if I was smart enough to figure out how to do this, I don't think they will let me in, but if I was smart enough to do this, that's where the money is, defense wise. If I can create, well, think about it. If Elon Musk was able to get these robots and then somebody says, you know what, I can get that technology, let's make a war bot. And the war bot was like Terminator for real, not the Arnold Schwarzenegger or the newer versions. I guarantee you they will be beyond billionaires. They will be trillionaires because they can sell them to any nation. But what America would do, smart enough, sometimes what she would do is to put you in a contract and buy the data rights from you as well, or the copyrights from you, so that way you can't sell it to other nations. So we have leg up. The problem is that most people are not going to sell that to you because I want to sell it to China, I want to sell it to Russia, and let them,
everybody hash it out.
Y'all can figure it out. But this is why I don't like free market. I can sit back and make all the money and let y'all kill each other, but I'm gonna just keep updating the software. You know what I mean?
Just buy your way into Antarctica.
Right.
Oh, Antarctica.
And so that's what I say when I say it's not a waste. For us, it was, but it was people making a killing.
Well, no, I'm not saying that people didn't make money. A lot of people made a lot of money off of that. But I'm talking about a waste for humanity, a waste for tax dollars, etc.
I agree.
That's what I'm talking about when I say it's a waste. It was a waste of our military, the efforts, the whole nine. That it wasn't. I don't think it was our darkest period, but I think it was one of the biggest.
So what is our darkest period to you?
The reason that I'm saying that though is if you look at everything that's happened from 2001 to now over the last 23 years, all the just dark underlying issues and all the dark underbelly issues and everything. That's why I said that. Do you think this would be
9/11 or the war?
No, just the year spans from 2001 to now. Do you think that these would be the darkest times in this country's history?
To be honest with you, I think that our darkest time started in 2020.
Why 2020?
COVID. I think we're still in it, and I think we're still going.
Well, I'm saying, though, but you look, it's everything that's happened since 9/11. Would you say that these would be that would be from there to here, that'd be the darkest times?
It's possible.
Because you look at how many people died in 9/11. If it was, in fact, all planned, that happened. And
I think if it came out that it was...
Then you look at all the stuff with AI that's come out, all the technology that we've had since then.
Because you're skipping. For me, so I'm thinking, now my brain is going back into my history mode. There are periods, like for instance, as a black person and doing research into like a lot of the different, as a black person doing research in a lot of these things that black folks went through throughout the history of time. The after slavery, that Reconstruction period was terrible. For the more I learned about that period, because there was no laws for America for real. It was like, first of all, here go y'all free. And then you had a group of people, you got to remember, like it wasn't like when the Confederate Army, conceded that it was like, okay, now y'all got to go to jail for these war crimes or whatever. It was, all right, y'all get y'all land back and go back home. And these newly freed slaves, they're just down here. It was no plan. So I look at that and say that was a pretty dark period. But I also look at America and say, I hate to say that because it's almost like, well, what's the worst that can happen? It gets worse.
You're right. And that would be the darkest period for this specific people.
I think it's a whole.
But if we're looking at the country as a whole, that's what I'm saying.
See, and I would say that's the issue. Don't separate a people group when they are part of America group. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
So I would look at it more so as America as a country. In that time period, she was learning how to be a country still.
Yeah.
That's why you got the Civil War. Like the thing at Gettysburg, terrible time for the country. And watch this, and still a particular group, but we didn't look good. Like that's not the best version. That's why I think a lot of people
definitely not the best version
of ourselves. And I'm saying right now, I can see what you like. I get what you're getting. I'm keep saying like we keep having, it's like us as humans. It's like you think you're doing good in life, and then you're like, right. Oh shoot, I thought we was. I think we keep having moments like that.
Yeah,
I don't want to say it's the darkest, but in my mind, with AI, with all the stuff we talk about, I think we can dive way past those darker moments we look at throughout history. Because think about it, we create robots and AI. What if they really did decide to take us over? Shoot. We're not doing the podcast anymore, obviously, because we're slaves to robots. But we'll be, dang, this is dark. I think our darker days, like you like to say, the darker days are behind us.
That's ahead of us.
It's ahead of us.
So that's why that's my answer. Is like
that goes back to a little bit what I was saying is that I feel like it started in 2020 because
you may be on to something mental health out of control.
So let me ask you something. How old were you when you bought your first house?
25.
How old were you when you bought your first house?
27.
Wait, you was counting? I was about to say 1,000.
No, 27, 28.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How old were you when you could afford to move out of your parents' house?
Oh,
20. Well, my situation is a little different, but I would say 23-ish, 24-ish.
Yeah, about 25.
Okay. I bought my first house when I was 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't imagine my kids being able to afford to move out anytime in the near future.
Yeah.
If you currently have a 18 to 28-year-old coming into adulthood right now, like things are so different now over the past 4 years that it's like, I don't even know how, like I tell my kids, I'm like, look, because we're very in tune to everything that's going on as a family. Like I don't sugarcoat, I don't hide nothing. They're very aware of how jacked up everything is, how, everything costs, $1 million just to go to the grocery store anymore and everything. And, you can almost see the fear on their face, and I'm like, look, y'all are good. As long as I'm alive and breathing and can provide, I'm going to continue to provide. Like, you don't need to worry. Like, yeah, it sucks. Your life may not, start without your parents till later on than you expect, but don't worry about it because, you don't have to be out of my house at 18. You don't have to be, you don't have to fly the coop right out, right out the gate. You're good. Don't, because when I was growing up, it was almost like kind of programmed. I feel like you guys probably were too, because that was just kind of our generation. Is like 18, you're an adult, you fly the coop,
figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're married or not, you're either moving in with a couple people or buying your own buying your own house, whatever. 18, you're an adult, get out. That was kind of the how I feel like our generation was raised, and you kind of start out that way. And then 2020 hits, and then everything just kind of slowly, and then all of a sudden skyrockets, and it's like you see the fear on some of these kids' faces, and it's like, well,
it really, okay.
It's like now you don't save up to send them to college, you save up to help them get a down payment on a house.
Well, it started in 2008, because I remember.
Oh yeah, I mean the housing crash.
So I remember graduating college in 2011, and I was like, I was proud of what Obama was able to get us to after that. But then I was also like, but there's still no jobs. And he was saying, like, I'm still trying to fix it. Like, this junk is bad. And I'm like, I was without, college degree, thinking this is the way to do it. Like, you go to college, you get out, you get you a nice job to pay your student loan back. I'm like, still struggling to pay the student loan back. And I'm like, I'm got to get a job. I'm not going to work anything remote. This is the closest to what I wanted to do. And I'm like, oh, man, this sucks because there's no money in that field.
Yeah.
They should have told me that my degree should not cost more than the job I'm able to get.
Right.
Common sense, nevertheless. And then that if it wasn't, my mom made me fly to Coop up, that, and that put the grind on me to get the job that I have now. Cause I was like, bro, I can't be broke.
Yeah.
And but I remember reading an article that's saying that at 25, when I had bought my house and you doing it at 28 in that range, and shoot, Jeremy, you just a unicorn altogether, 20 years old. That's crazy. But I remember reading an article that said more millennials are moving back home to live with their parents so they can pay off their student loans because they had acquired so much student loan debt and then they couldn't afford to buy a house. That was like 2011. To your point, and I know some people like to blame the president and stuff like that. And I tell people you can't blame the president for capitalism because I blame capitalism for everything because you don't have integrity in it. Kroger, Home Depot. There was some other companies I was reading articles about have admitted to jacking their prices up during COVID. To your point,
yeah,
price gouging is what they call it, and they didn't have to. Now they guised it under COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to take us more money to get it because no, you didn't. That was 1 year. Drop those prices back. But once again, capitalism says if Jeremy is willing to pay $8 for milk. I mean, I don't want to look too obvious. I'm gonna drop it down to $6, even though milk was $4 or $2.
Yeah.
So watch it, because watch this. In pure capitalism, which I love, if we're gonna be honest with it, it says get money.
So here's part of the problem with that is it has to come from everywhere at the same time, because a lot of those companies are still having to pay a lot more for everything, because your energy bills went up, your insurance bills through the roof. Okay. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a business insurance bill, but holy crap, it's like, it's through the roof, ever since COVID. And then you've got everything. So there is a little bit of that has gone up, like resource wise, even labor. I mean, labor cost up because everybody's having to, again, make more money so they can continue to,
pay for the marked up things.
Pay for the marked up things. So everything has to kind of reset. I think we were talking about it earlier. I think it was off mic, about unplugging and replugging, everything.
But see,
and it's like, we just need a whole reset. Just reset it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you about this.
Not the Great Reset. Just want to preface that.
No, please. We don't need a 19. We don't need a Great Depression. Okay, and this is where I always tell people that is what the government is for. The government is not to regulate your guns, or me personally, regulate your bodies. The government is saying, oh, shoot, y'all are screwing the people. Corporations, comment down. Hey, or, that country, to deal with the other country. Like foreign policy, I always tell people, that's the hardest thing for me to understand because I don't know the treaties and everything y'all don't signed.
Yeah.
But like the job of the government is to protect its citizens from being attacked.
Right.
Whether it's economically, whether it's, and when I say attack, which is like, okay, y'all, we had to go up and, COVID because everything was hard to get. But the realization is everything is back down. All right, Kroger, chill out. All right, Home Depot, chill out. Wood shouldn't cost that much anymore.
Yeah.
We got evidence that says otherwise because we don't have all those numbers. But I personally think, like you said, it came from everywhere. What are we doing now? We're like-minded folks when it comes down to conspiracy theories. What are we doing? We're sitting in a room and we're talking about stuff. You don't think billionaires come together and sit and like how much money?
100%.
They're just not doing it on mic.
They get around
1,000%, Jeremy.
Hey, let's figure out how we can screw them all and get more money out of them.
I don't even think it's screwing, even though they know it screws. It's just like okay, think about it. Oh, Dustin just bought 5 more houses in Hamptons. I can't do that. Let me raise my price. Oh,
right.
when you raise your price, I got to raise my price. I think they do they play a game with each other. I think because think about it. What are you doing when you're rich? You're just bored, right?
Yeah.
So
Dustin thinks he just bought 5 more houses in town.
watch this.
I really all knows he doesn't.
The price.
Even know that.
Watch this. There are no more eggs. Let's go. And that's what I don't. And once again, I love free market if it's done in integrity. I don't trust that part of it. I'm not a 1984 person. I don't want no full socialist problem where you tell me what job I got to have, what clothes I got to wear. But I do realize I don't trust the government to do what it's supposed to do when I can pay you to do it. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm the owner of this company. I know this congressman. I'm gonna pay him to write laws for me. I don't trust. That's why it's not. To me, that's why we're suffering.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, if it's Trump, if it's Kamala, my hope is they live up to what they say they're gonna do on both sides. I'm gonna fix price, and we can ask the question why she ain't doing it now. That's we throw that out. And if Trump's saying, I'm going to get the middle class, I'm going to get people back, I'm going to get some stuff back. Whoever decides to do whatever they're going to do, hopefully it works. That's my hope.
Well, we're going to find out tomorrow. And
well, we're not going to find that out until.
Well, that's true. It's probably not going to be till Thursday or something.
No, not who wins, but like, let's say whoever puts a strategy in, right? It takes us about 2 and 3.5 years to see the effects. That's another thing I hate.
Yeah. Well, I think that I'm going to go ahead and set the schedule for next week. So I think Monday, I think we continue this conversation about COVID because we have yet to do an official COVID episode. So
that's a big one, bro.
It's a big one. So let's get started early.
Oh boy.
And I think for
shoot me up, dog.
Bill Gates.
Get your round twos, man.
I think for oh my.
Did y'all see the documentary? It's on Netflix. Bill Gates has a documentary on Netflix. Did y'all see it?
Oh,
if he had anything to do with it,
just watch it. Just
I'll try to.
Just watch it. Just for content.
Okay.
Content purposes.
I don't.
Content purposes. Content purposes.
Okay.
We have to give the people what they want.
Okay. Well,
people don't want Bill Gates. Okay.
And I think for next week's bonus episode, going to go ahead and set the schedule for election results.
Oh man.
Hopefully within a week and 2 days, we'll know. Who has
if the person you want doesn't win, are you going to be okay?
No.
Oh, yes, you will.
Yes.
You will be okay.
No. Yes. Maybe.
You made it through 2008. You made it through COVID. You're going to be okay. You're like, I can't speak for the rest of the country. I don't want you walking around here depressed.
Let me tell you something.
I won't be.
Okay. Sorry if I lose viewership.
Jeremy, do you want to move to our native land of Ireland?
You don't know where you're from.
I think Ireland.
Let me tell you something, okay?
I think Ireland or Scotland.
I feel like I live in a pretty decent part of town. I literally came home the other night and I pulled in and I'm like, something's missing. And I walk out there, my Trump sign's gone. I mean,
oh wow,
gone. Okay, and I've got this.
Funny.
I've got this thing up against my house. Okay. Like up against like not even out in the yard, up against my house. Okay, so I start rolling the footage and I'm like, I'm about to find this, This lady drives back and forth past my house 3 or 4 times, stops at the last time, gets out, runs up the hill, just jacks my sign. And I mean, it's not an easy run to the front of my house.
Is that her comment was so funny. She's like, F this.
Yeah, I mean,
she said that thing?
Yes. Yes. And she jacks it, runs back down, jumps in the car, speeds off, speeds out of my neighborhood, right?
Right.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm just so ready for this crap to be over.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is the point we've come where I can't even just have one sign out in my yard. You doubled down on
that. I see that.
Oh, I didn't double down.
You tripled down.
I tripled down. Then I sent a text to Trey and my pastor, and I said, I said, what did I say? It was oh man, I don't even remember what I said, but I was like, Jesus does fix things. I came home from work a couple days later. Somebody had just donated me a Trump sign right to my mailbox area, like one of the big yard signs.
Oh man!
So I went ahead and have a 4th one up in my yard now too, and I'm like, just come get it. Just come get it.
I think that's to help the viewers know is you're a Trump supporter. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a Harris supporter, Kamala Harris supporter. But that's where I lean, and we're still able to have conversations.
Absolutely.
So people, just let y'all know, you can be Americans and not necessarily support the same,
disagree and get along.
Right.
Exactly.
We're not up here Bloods and Crips people. We're okay. I love Jeremy, and I will always love. I don't care if 45, 47 wins, or if it's Kamala. I don't care personally. I just want the American people to know you can live and have different opinions with people on things and still be friends and laugh and joke and break bread.
What an amazing concept.
Oh my gosh. You can be American. Yeah. It's okay.
And we can even still talk about the hot button subjects that we disagree on and walk away from it and go, he's crazy. Right. But it's all good. I still love him. It's all good. Yeah,
he's a crazy bastard.
Jeremy's very loony. The triple down, that is crazy.
He makes a hell of a smash burger, though.
Like when I saw the signs of that, I said, he tripled down. He wants all his signs gone. But it was fun. And that's what I tell you. I picked up the signs.
I haven't seen the video.
You got to see. When I saw the sign down,
let me tell you, I saw this person after they pulled him, like when they first pulled in my neighborhood, they were down on the other side of my neighborhood for about 20, 30 minutes. I've been driving down there every day looking for
You
this
think
car.
they live down there?
No, they do not live here. I've
Okay.
gotten confirmation because I started sending it out.
Neighborhood recon.
Yeah, buddy. Okay, to the people I know and trust. Okay, I'm like, these people. You know these people. No,
They were just driving around in your neighborhood?
no, I'm telling you, they were down there for 20, 30 minutes. They're visiting somebody.
Oh.
I'm waiting on them to come visit again so I
That's
can
right.
see the car because I know the car. I don't have the tag
Was it
number.
a grown woman or did it look like a teenager? It kind of look like a teenager, right?
Let me-
Jeremy is set
it was
out for revenge.
Just throw it out there. We've got ourselves a white BMW
It was
with some
BMW?
chrome wheels. Okay, that's what we're on the Bolo for.
No, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw the video. It was funny. It's a funny video to watch. I don't like stuff like that. And I told him, I said, so a guy in my neck of the woods, he was this long white guy, probably a little redneckish, was out there putting signs out. And I said, that buddy is wasting his time.
Oh, no.
I knew it. Because I told him, I said, now it is, you know how you say, he's like, I see more hairs. I was like, bro, it is tripled.
Oh, really?
Like, I was like, bro, this is, wow. I've never seen this before. And not even when Brock ran, it wasn't that many signs. And now it's like, and I think the nature of this is different. But I said, he's wasting his time. I came back like home like the other day. It's like he put out a lot. It wasn't like he put out 2. He put out probably 20.
Oh, wow.
All of them gone. all of them.
I'll tell you this. I was never going to put a sign out in my yard until the attempted assassination, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And after that happened, I got the sign, with him with the American flag in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'll support anybody that's getting shot at this point, And so that's the sign I had. It wasn't even a Trump 24
Man, I
sign.
wish
It
we
was
had
literally just a picture.
I would say, I told Dustin, we was talking about baby Dustin. I said, you know what'd be crazy?
That is not me, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said
I am
baby
not
Dustin.
baby Dustin.
I said, you know what'd be real crazy? I said, well, it has been 3 attempts, 2 attempts.
2.
2. I said, he gets a 3rd and they hit him.
Mm.
I said, bro, that would send this nation over the edge. If I am Russia or if I'm China, I wait until like November the 4th, and if that's or his last rally.
Yeah.
Watch this. It doesn't. I just need right now. I think we're so on edge. We prime it to be an inside job. People will believe it's an inside job, and it will divide. It would be like a ripping a shit up. It would be so easy. What you got a powder pig or what do they call it? Gunpowder, whatever they call it.
Powdered keg.
There we go. Thank you. I said, bro, I told Justin, if I'm an American enemy, that is ingenious. Now, I hope they don't hear this and do this because that would be, I would definitely go to jail.
We've
I
already
don't
said
condone that.
It's been watered down so much now
If people
that
get, no way.
a 3rd attempt, people
No
are
way.
like, well, that sucks.
No, I don't think, no.
I hope
No.
not.
No, I know not. It would do the opposite of 9/11.
Well, we've already said that somebody in England really likes us because we're getting listened to in England.
For real, a lot. I didn't see that.
I don't know how many times, but I remember we were
But see,
getting listened
you see
to.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be, how crazy would that be?
I mean, the groundwork has been set. So I'm hoping that that's not the case because we definitely there will be no 9/12 if something like that happens.
No.
I guarantee that.
No.
So just to bring it back to our original.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm an enemy of America, and I hate it, like if I'm North Korea, Iran.
How about you just stop saying that, Trey?
I'm not. I love it. I'm probably. Okay, I could say I'm the biggest patriot because I'm not. 'Cause I won't fight for anything. Maybe my family, but I
Maybe.
hey, bro, I just violence is not my thing. I'm trying to come off. I'm trying to become more violent, but it's not in my heart. It's not there anymore. It got beat out of me as a kid. Okay. All right. I'm just letting y'all know that. Okay. But that being said, I want to see America to win. I'm sorry.
Listen next week. We're gonna have some good content next
COVID
week.
and what?
COVID and the election. The election results.
The election results.
I mean, I think we should just, since we have some differentiating opinions here.
It'll be fun.
I mean, one of us is going to be upset, and one of us isn't on some level. So
I won't be upset at all.
I mean,
I already dealt with it once.
I mean, true, but I mean, there's still going to be some, some theories and whatnot. So it'll be good. It'll be a good listen. So
As long as I don't have to hear it.
With me, I'm just kind of like, on one hand, I know what to expect. On the other one, I'm like,
We don't know anything.
I don't know.
Not true.
How you mean?
We've got 3.5 years.
I'm not counting. If okay, do you have a supervisor? Or are you the supervisor?
Oh hell!
I gotta ask. I just gotta ask. That's my theory. You the supervisor or you got a supervisor?
But she supported it though.
Both.
You have. Okay, is Amanda your wife?
Yeah.
Did she support your idea about the golf cart?
Yeah. After I told her.
Okay, watch this. Watch this. What is she gonna do? She may, complain about it.
That's not a
She
good.
can't do anything. What she can't.
That's not even a good.
Legitimate family structure. You're the president of your family. All right. Best. Our wives are vice president. Versus depending on your situation. If I go out here and do something, I can give my wife. I hope she's not listening to this. The death stare enough that she will have
After an hour and 40 minutes, she ain't listening.
That's-
You in good shape.
Is I guarantee she's gonna be like, I just have to support my husband, even though and she may bash me, but she can't do that. That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't make sense for her as a Democrat to support him to say, yeah, Biden did a terrible job, but I'm gonna do better. You can't say that literally. That's what I'm saying.
If we're gonna go there, we're gonna go there.
Go ahead.
Whatever on the time. Y'all are the ones that have to drive home.
Okay.
So if
What you
you
got?
put your wife in charge of buying the groceries,
Mhm.
this is your job. Like this is your I will go to work, I'll make the money, I'll pay the bills, but I want you to go buy the groceries.
Mhm.
And you come home, there's nothing. I mean, literally, the cabinets are bare.
Mhm.
What are you going to do?
To my wife?
No, just in general. What are you going to do? Are you going to go to her and say, hey, did you forget something?
Yeah,
or
of course.
are you just going to go to the store and buy it yourself?
In this analogy,
Yes.
hey, go back to the store and buy something.
So you're going to ask her, go buy that. And
Yeah.
then why would you do that?
That's what I put her in charge of.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if she was put in charge, and she being, your wife, if your wife was in charge of, I don't know, if you gave her the job border czar, and you said, I want you to be the border czar. I want you to kind of check on things, make sure we're in good shape. That's your job. And then all of a sudden you've got, I don't know, just call it millions of people coming across the border, undocumented.
Allegedly.
Is it her fault?
No.
No, but it's your wife's fault for not going to the grocery store when you put her in charge of it.
I never said it was my wife's fault. I was just telling. Watch this. This is. First of all, this to me is astounding to me that people forget this. This. You outside of Dick Cheney, name me one vice president we've actually gave a F about. We never care about. I have every president that I have been alive for. I was like, what are they doing? Watch this. I always ask, what is the vice president's job? In my mind, until now, it was them just wait for the president to die. Because they want, in my mind, outside of voting for, like in the House, whatever the thing, they one job they have to do, I'm like, they don't really do much.
Yeah, but every time a vice president is run for president, you've always looked at their, what they did as vice president.
No.
That's literally
how many vice presidents have ran and won?
I don't know.
It's not a lot of them. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because no one likes them. That's why they're not on the main ticket. This I told Dustin this. It's the bizarrest thing. I think, to me personally, the Democrats fumbled the bag. I wouldn't have done what they did strategy wise, but these people are Harvard and Princeton grads, so they're smarter than me. Okay. All I'm saying is if I have supervisors, right? And sometimes they make a decision. And I'll give you a prime example. I love my director. She's a phenomenal lady. I just think the way that she wrote our little reorg and the way they did some stuff, I just wouldn't have done it like that. Now, I would say that here. Sometimes I can groan about it to some of my employees when they struggle with something. Like, this is because we wrote this out like this. You don't have to get through it, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do. Now, if you come to me in a political atmosphere and say, how did she roll it out? I'm not going to say what I would tell my employees privately. I'm going to say, oh, it's phenomenal. We had some challenges, but we got through them. Would you have done anything hindsight? I'm a little bit more witty with my answers. So I'm like, I think we can always find ways of improvement because I'm witty. Now watch this. I cannot, my one job is not to make her look bad. I can't say anything about that because I'm aligned with her.
But if you're coming and telling your employees that you're going to fix everything, I mean, you're essentially saying that. So just say it. Right?
See, that is a difference between, no. This is the crazy part. That is the difference between 45 baby 47, he doesn't give a flip. She's still playing the game of being politically correct.
But why? Why would you still play the game if you know that the administration you've been a part of is a complete failure?
Let's say, okay, I'll give you an example. You my boy, right?
Yeah.
And let's say somebody came to me, came and said, Jeremy's just ass a-hole. I wouldn't say, yeah, Jeremy is. I was like, why? First of all, I'm like, why are you saying that? Because maybe you had a bad morning or something like that. And they were like, I don't know, he's a redhead. And my job is not to say, yeah,
always back to my race.
I would say, yeah, them redheads are just like that. I would defend you.
Yeah.
I have no other choice. You're my friend. You know what I mean? And then I might come to you and say, hey, Jeremy, I don't know what you did, but they show you is leaning into that redheadness. So I don't know. As me, I don't know what that means. But whatever you're doing, just relax.
Dye your hair, Jeremy.
Something. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it from that standpoint of view, and I know people may see it differently. And if you can, hey, rightfully so, because I have asked some of those same questions. I'm just saying, like, do you really expect for you to the well on your boss as you trying to take their position? Because then I would see that as an act of disloyalty. If you can be disloyal to the person who put you on, then you definitely ain't gonna be loyal to me, because that means you can, you know what I mean?
I mean, do you think Joe still likes Kamala at this point?
Joe probably don't even remember who she is.
Let's say he remembers who she is.
Uh-huh.
Do you think he actually likes her? Because, I've heard a lot of grumblings about the fact that he is upset that, she basically stole the position from him anyway. So I don't think they had a good relationship with Jump. No, I don't think so either, honestly.
Because at least from the other vice presidents, like Cheney, like Al Gore, like who we had before, like Biden himself.
Yeah.
I think we heard a lot more about them. You seemingly didn't hear almost anything, and a lot of people in the black community was like, where is she at?
Yeah.
And I think everybody kind of said that at one point, and then all of a sudden she emerges as that's to me the issue. Like, she was like Dick Cheney, if he'd have decided to run against George Bush, I'm like, we knew this was coming. He shot a guy in the back. But her, it's like, it was almost like as if she came like Batman. We knew Batman here, but then all of a sudden she disappears, and then Bane takes over.
Whoa.
Wait, I'm using the way she kind of came out of nothing. Okay, came out of the dark. Come on, come on, Dustin. You know what I mean? She came out of like the dark.
Maybe Ant-Man. Okay.
No, Ant-Man was. He was. Come on, he don't really have power.
Do not compare.
No,
to Batman.
Okay, you know what? I'm leaving. you gotta make the noise. I'm leaving. No, but you see what I'm saying is, all of a sudden, to me, it didn't make sense. I told my friend Baby Dustin this. I said they should have went younger and wittier, because a young person, it probably stayed female. It's hard for Trump to attack a female of color. But you should have, because he be going in on white ladies.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Boy, he be going in on white ladies. he killed Liz Cheney. I was like, bro, you can't say that, bro. That's wild. But he does. But it's like I think they should have went.
Is there any piece of you that appreciates the fact that he is so not politically correct in this day and age? Like it's not going to kill your Blackstreet cred.
No. So I'm not gonna lie. When he did leave office, I was like, dang, we have nothing entertainment to talk about besides Joe's pedophilia and his memory.
Yeah.
With Trump, for a president to be up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. tweeting, I was like, bro, why are you not? When do you sleep? The job is hard already. And it didn't.
Go ahead, Rocket Man.
What are you doing? Like, from that, and then like I tell people, he didn't do everything bad. It was like he didn't I do tell people this. I feel like we didn't get a fair chance at his presidency because COVID literally took it.
Right.
And I was like, so if he were to try to do something good, it wasn't any president that would have been in office at that time would have struck out with COVID.
Everybody would have took the hit. It doesn't matter who it was.
Yeah, that was just no way. No, because that was unthinkable until then. So I was kind of people like, we really don't know for sure. Inflation was going to happen. Anything you did in that.
That's why George W. got a second term, because people felt the same way about 9/11.
Yeah.
And like, well, he didn't even get a fair shot. So
and see, watch this.
Oh yeah, he really had
watch this. I say this all the time. If Trump's rhetoric would have toned down, and even though that's kind of what got him on people, he would have won a lot of people over and got some of that love on COVID.
Yeah.
Because he did like, okay, man, let me figure out how to get the people money. He was hesitant on it, as a business person should be. Do we give people money? And I would have said, watch this.
No.
Don't give these people anything
No.
because it would mess us up in the long run.
Yeah.
Let them figure it out or put them back to work. Like that's what I tell people that I said, because I was able to survive without STEMI checks. You can, and I know some people with different situations. I would say give them food stamps, give them the stuff that we give them more,
Yeah.
and get it back in taxes, not cash. You never give people cash. And that being said, I do feel like we probably didn't see his best efforts as president because something took it from him. Like I said, if he wins, I hope that this nation gets better. And once again, I always tell people, I'm gonna check you because I'm not looking at your current status, because whatever Joe Biden has done, we're gonna see the fruit of it in that first 2 or 3 years, or didn't do. We're gonna see when his term is up, we're gonna see where things are. That's his term, and that's the one thing I do hate about America is the implementation is 3 years behind. I just don't like that because
I mean, some of the implementation's instant depending on what executive orders.
like the Keystone,
And that stuff has immediate results.
right. But
you know,
not all of
because
it.
true, but when Trump took presidency and he enacted that, we immediately saw the downward, the fall in gas, which has a full economical, downward turn in prices of stuff. And then when Joe took over, and that was one of the first things he did was undo it. We immediately saw the spike up. And it's like, but when the gas prices go up, that's when everything has to go up, because again, it goes back to capitalism of, well, now it's costing me 3 times as much to ship this across the United States, so now I got to raise my price.
Don't you love though something? I don't think it has as much as to do with the key lime pipe, because isn't it crazy in an election year the gas prices certainly
came on down again.
It's just mad. They didn't open the pipeline back or anything. So I'm just trying to figure out how is it doing this?
You want to know part of the reason that it did
but
that?
also you have the catastrophes that happen, and we see how the current president and the administration is handling it.
What you mean, like bad or good?
Yeah, like with the hurricanes that just happened.
Well, the government as a whole has failed at that, in my humble opinion. But
yeah, same.
But I mean, the part of the reason the gas prices came down is we've depleted our reserves.
What you mean? Like they came down and went back up?
No, the reason that the gas prices came down, we depleted our reserves.
America's reserve?
Yeah.
So why would they go down? Sorry.
Because we're taking all the oil that we're not that's already been bought, and now we're feeding it into the refinery.
Oh, you said we're depleting them now.
Right. We've depleted down to basically influx the system like we do with the pipeline. We're producing our own. Well, we've kind of artificially produced our own by taking our reserves and feeding the refineries. So that's how we brought it down, believe it or not.
I saw an interesting stat that said something about gas production. I have to send it to you about gas production has went up under Joe Biden.
You know what I really keep asking?
Huh?
Where the hell is the real Joe Biden?
Jeez.
Because that old man is not the real Joe Biden.
I'm going to be honest. I hope I never get famous and people think I'm the fake version of myself. You know how angry I would be because they do it with
the same thing with
Kanye, Jamie Foxx, Gucci Mane. I just hope, like right now, I'm pleasantly plump, okay? Like I'm not really fat, I'm not really skinny. In the middle, I have a straight down dead body. If I go and get in shape and people start saying I'm a clone of myself, I would be pissed.
Well, that's not the case, Joe.
If I had a clone of myself, I'd be like, why am I working so hard?
Well, they keep you. When they get the clone, don't they get rid of the real person or something like that?
I don't know where Joe is.
I don't know.
Did y'all watch that movie yet? All
right.
I'm sorry. I got to go home.
Well, it's been a heck of a preview for next week.
Yeah.
I think we're locked in at this point, so definitely expect those episodes. We spent 20 minutes talking about next week, so we're locked in now. But hey, everybody have a safe election day tomorrow. Go out and vote. It doesn't even matter if you're voting for the other team. Hopefully your candidate
wins, whoever that may be.
Let's get a good tie. What happens in a tie? Do we have to revote?
I mean, if it's within a certain percentage.
If we get it within a tie, Rosie O'Donnell will be our president. It's already been determined.
Well, I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter what team you're voting for. You need to get out and exercise your rights. I mean,
check now.
A lot of people worked hard for those rights, and we need to go out there and exercise those rights. So do the right thing, get out there and vote, and we'll talk to you on Wednesday, but not about this because we don't think it's going to be called by Wednesday, but we will talk about it hopefully.
I don't want to text this.
But listen to this coming Wednesday. We're going to talk about an experience we had at Hell's Gate and kind of break Dustin in here to a little bit of the NWO that we experienced, which was cool. So, but thanks everybody for listening to the No Name Podcast. Like, subscribe,
share. Remember, truth's out there. Read between the lines.
Yeah.